So we continue with the provocative and spicy topic of security that we looked at, and we even talked about it on Friday. There was some wonderful insight from all of you regarding security and your ways of approaching it, and most illuminating, helpful for me. The topic is a broad one, and like most weeks, we'll start by stirring the pot a little bit, just digging in and see what we might find. There's a there's a fascinating phrase in spirituality called judge not appearances, judge the truth. Don't judge the way things look with the mortal eye, but judge the underlying truth. Now, to judge something is also a decision or a choice. We might say that they're somewhat synonymous, but it was mentioned by wise counsel on Friday that security would be a choice that we would make. We could choose to be secure or otherwise. And once we realize that, obviously the wise choice would be to choose security, not judge the appearance of things, which can certainly appear on the outside to be anything but secure. And so we'll run with that a little bit. Now, imagine, I notice some of the Gen Zers, my nieces and nephews, for example, those brilliant souls. A couple of them have these passes to movie theaters. Movie theaters are really dying right now. So movie theaters are doing anybody to get anybody to come ever at all now. But a couple of my nieces and nephews, they've gotten 30-day, they get this monthly pass. They can go every single day. And there's always something playing, and maybe there'll be four people in the theater, but they can see 30 different movies in a month, and like, wow, what a trip. Now imagine if every movie that, say we all watched a movie every single day, a real long movie, 2 3 hour movie, and we were really caught up in that movie. One day it's a drama, one day it's a light romance, one day it's an action adventure, one day it's a depressive Swedish film, the next day it's a combination of all the above, the next day it's a World War II, the next day it's a historical documentary. Imagine all this input playing within our own mind, and imagine if every day found ourselves so sucked into the movie that we were watching, we found ourselves unable to really withdraw away from it. If we were watching a tragic romance and we left and we were so convinced it was real that the feelings of that, the emotionality stuck in our body, and then the next day we were watching a really frightening war movie, and then the next day for some reason we go to see a horror film with chainsaws and such. I hate those movies, blood and guts and stuff, but I know people that really like that stuff. Imagine if the movie that we're watching, we were so convinced it was real, where would our security possibly be? We would be so emotionally adrift, so cast into the turbulence of emotion that how could we ever feel secure? And yet, aren't we counseled by great spiritual master to not judge the movie, judge the truth? In other words, I wonder, and here's the thought for the day, to what degree are we controlling the movie that we're watching? There's a great deal of philosophy of mind now that it's all a simulation. Since there's no underlying reality in the quantum realm, in the realm of uncertainty, we're just watching a simulation. Who's running the simulation? Are we participating in it? Now, you can't really ask a bigger question, and we're counseled in spirituality to do God's will. Is God's will that we just watch a movie that's shoved down our throat? Are we to look out in the world and say that that's real and think that that's reality? Or do we actually play a part in producing and directing the movie that we're watching? Maybe it's God's will that we're collaborative co-producers in the movie that we're watching. If this then is true, and security is a choice, perhaps we should hire really good screenwriters Maybe we should hire screenwriters, producers who infuse and embed the qualities of security into the movie that we're watching. What would those qualities be? Love, kindness, gratitude, forgiveness, harmony, inspiration, beauty, all these wonderful things. In other words, I am personally, and you can tell me what you think, I'm of the belief that we are co collaborators with God, and God's not shoving a movie down my throat. It's actually God's will that I collaborate, and that's the choice to make. What sort of movie am I going to look out on? A frightening movie that's being imposed upon me? Or am I going to participate? And if I find myself frightened or heartbroken or in a horror movie, will I participate in the type of thinking, behavior, and action that changes the quality of the movie into something certainly worthy of a Academy Award? So Looney says, run a beautiful movie today. If you don't like something that you see, fire the damn scriptwriter and make a choice. Don't judge the appearance, judge the truth. Have a beautifully secure day. See you tomorrow.